Hello, my name is Guillaume and I'm speaking from the United Nations University Institute for Water, Environment and Health, and this is the first module about accessing and registering in the SDG PSS. The SDG PSS is an online and free system. This system was designed as a collaboration tool that can be used by water professionals and policymakers, either working on national teams or independently. First and foremost, anyone who wants to use the SDG PSS needs to create an account, and the registration is done very easily following the instructions. So, when you first access the SDG PSS website, you're going to see this screen. So this is the registration screen. I am going to show how to register and log in the system. Users need to pay attention to some details to assure proper access and use of the system. The SDG PSS allows two types of users. First, the national team members, and second, the generic user. I'm going to explain the difference between both of them. The first page you see when you access the SDG PSS is the login page. So let's click on the button Register. You need to fill the registration form with all your information. So first the name, then the last name, your email, the role, your team, then your organization, your username, and finally a password. As I said before, there are two kinds of users in the SDG PSS. The first one is national team members, and the second one is generic user. So first, let's take a look at national team members. When you are going to choose a role, you can either choose the national team member and the generic user. So first, let's take a look at national team member. Since the SDG PSS is designed to allow countries to create national teams to work on the system, members of a specific national team share the same version of the SDG PSS. In this way, when a member of a national team is creating an account, the user must select the role National Team Member. After completing the registration, an email is sent automatically to the national focal point to be approved. This procedure assures that national teams are made up only by approved members. Once the national focal point approves the registration, the user can finally access the SDG PSS and share the system with all the other members of the specific national team. Then we have generic users. Here in the role, you can select generic user. Generic users are those who are not part of a specific national team. They work independently. For this, in the registration form available in the system's website, the user must select the role generic user. After registration, the user can access the SDG PSS and the system is not shared with any other user. Data is then kept confidential to that user only. So this is very important. National team members need to be their access approved before they start using the SDG PSS. Generic user, or that user that is working independently, can access the SDG PSS right away. So, after you've finished your registration, you can access the SDG PSS. For national team members, they can only access the SDG PSS after the national focal point approved their access. You can then click in Login, and you can access the system. This ends the module on registering in the SDG PSS. If you would like to know more about how the SDG PSS works, please go to the next module. You can also join the discussion forum on the course website. Please share your questions and comments.